Okay, welcome back. It's the second part where we're going to be just taking one question at a time. So we'd really like to get your feedback on whether you find it's better to have one question or to have them as a block. So this is just question 24. Question 24 is a histogram question, A grade histogram question. And we are told that Tom asked the students in his class how many hours they watched television last week. An incomplete diagram shows his results. Now we're told the key pieces of information are that 8 students watched television for between 10 and 15 hours and 6 students for between 0 and 10. Now the key thing to understand in histograms is that frequency, i.e. the number of people, the totals, is equal to the area of the bars in our histogram. So if we're told that 8 students watch for between 10 and 15 hours, the area of this bar here, or the frequency, is equal to 8. So therefore we now need to try and make a bar down in this area which has an area of 6. So at the moment we are missing from this information the height of this bar and therefore the frequency density. Now we know that the width is 5, so therefore I can say that 8, which is my area, is equal to 5 times by the height of the bar. And when we solve that, we find that 1.6 is equal to the height. So this value over here is equal to 1.6. And from that, we can now work out the rest of our graph. Now if you divide that into equal sections, it should be a bit clearer on your diagram. You find that each of these bars, therefore, is equal to 0.2. And each small bar is equal to 0.04. So that's what we're going to be using to complete the rest of it. So we've got 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.81, 1.2 and 1.4. So we have to fill that in before we can do anything else. So now this next bar, we want it to have a area, a frequency of 6. Now we already know it's got a width of 10, so we know that 10 times by the height is equal to 6. So therefore the height of this bar will equal to 0.6. So very simply we can draw a straight line in with a ruler, not like this, thank you. Okay, and that should have an area now of 6. Width of 10, height of 0.6, so this represents 6 people. Okay, question B tells us that no students watch the television for more than 30 hours. So there's no bars going to be happening anywhere in this section here. So work out now how many students Tom asked. Well, we already know we've got 6 students here, 8 students here. Remember, frequency is equal to area, so we want to find out the area of these two bars and add them all up. So in our next bar, what have we got? We've got a width of 5. Okay, so the area is equal to 5 times by the height. Let's find the height. When we come across, we find that's 1.2. And so this bar is also equal to 6. Completely different shape to this one, but the same amount of students in it. Okay, and in the last one, we've got that the area is equal to, this time it's got a width of 10, and scrolling across, notice that it's halfway between the bars this time. We find it's got a height of 0.5. Times those two together, and we find there's 5. So the total number of students is equal to 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5, giving us a total of 14, 20, 25. Okay, that's that question. Feel free to pause it if you want to go through anything again. Okay, but now we're going to move on to the next question.